Welcome to a busted play, an illegal use of hands to the face short. Hayden, training camps for a majority of the NFL started today, and the rookie QBs, they were going out there showing what they got. Well, except two, Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, who is going to be the main person we talk about today. Uh, Jets cannot get the contract done with him, so they are having other QBs that have also never taken a snap in a regular season NFL game go out there and do it. Jeez, I wasn't a big fan of the Jets going into the season. This is just showing me that I should not really be a fan of them.
Salah's bringing the culture, right? What we're
Yeah.
supposed to love about Salah is not
hmm
just the defensive prowess, because he's a defensive coach, and he's supposed to be able to really help on that side of the ball. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt there and say he does that. The other thing, then, like I already said, is the ability to bring the team together. If he can't bring the team together in a manner kind of like it felt like he did with the Niners, even though he was only a coordinator,
hmm
that really loses a lot of the advantage of hiring this guy. Like I've said many times in the past, I feel like you should probably be looking to hire an offensive-minded coach, just because otherwise they're going to get hired away so quickly. Whereas sometimes you can get a decent defensive coordinator and still be able to hang on to them for a while. And I think that it at least has better chances. I do like Robert Saleh as a person, and I like what he does on defense. But the other piece of it is that I think most of the time, if you have a consistently good offensive coordinator, you can always scheme up offense. If you want a good example of a defensive coach not mattering, take Dan Quinn in Atlanta. That's a guy who, when he got there in his first few seasons there, it's like, he's got the team going in the right direction, and I definitely have to say I like what he did in Seattle. But as it progressed, I mean, he kind of lost pieces around him that helped him look better. I will say there were definitely pieces that were helping him look better, and then he obviously looked worse. But the defense was atrocious last season, and I
hmm
mean,
Yeah.
maybe even the past 2 years. And it's just funny to come back to that point of kind of why I would like to stick away from a defensive head coach, because of the fact that it really can go so south. If you just don't have the pieces around you to make you successful, you can't scheme anything up. I feel like there's offensive coordinators that can scheme things up to make them work. Now, beyond that, it's funny because this isn't even really probably about Salah, because I highly doubt he's the one discussing what's happening here with Zach Wilson's contract that's making him not go to camp yet. But since I talked about the culture aspect, geez, well, he's going to have trouble building a culture without his starting quarterback in the building for an
Yeah.
extra few days. And even if he's doing a great job, other players have to be looking around saying, "What's going on?" And even if it's the general manager making bad decisions and not the head coach himself, it's still like guys looking like, who's running things here? And it's like you're kind of going to have a similar idea of management. You're not going to, as a player, I don't feel like you're ever going to be completely separated. Like, oh, the GM has no association with the coach, and I'm going to look at them completely individually and what they did in
hmm
their time, right? So I think that hurts him, and I think it hurts the Jets overall. We've already said that we're not liking the Jets, at least this year, doing much of anything. If they won more than eight games, I'd be shocked. And what I'd say I think we're really looking at around is probably 4 to 7 range is probably what we're guessing.
hmm
I think that's what we probably predicted. I can't remember. That was a while ago now, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just we already weren't expecting a lot, and this is not a good start to the year for them.
Yeah. Zach Wilson is your supposed franchise quarterback, and to be nickel and diming him over what I think at most can be $200,000 stipulation in his contract, beyond stupid. Get him in the building as fast as you can. I mean, just the Jets did it with Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold, like, I'm not saying that that's the one key thing that made it why Sam Darnold did not pan out because he missed 2 or 3 days of camp, but it sure does help having him there and building the culture, like you said. It's really hard to build that culture if you don't have your franchise quarterback showing up who's going to start week one. You have guys like James Morgan out there taking snaps. Uh, yeah, it's really tough. And the Jets front office is just something to marvel at right now with this.
I don't understand how they can be so disconnected, because I also feel like Saleh would be the type of guy that would be really, really upset about this. I don't think he would be sitting back like, oh yeah, it's okay. He can miss a week or two or something ridiculous like that. What the heck? What is going on there? I can't. That's a really, and even if I take the player perspective out of this, I really, if I'm a Jets fan, or even not as a Jets fan, just thinking about this from the outside looking at the team, I'm really worried about the fact that my coach and general manager are probably already off to a bad start in terms of their relationship if they can't get the number 2 overall draft pick in the building by the first day of training camp.
Mm-hmm. That should be your number one priority after the draft. Get your first round pick signed. And having it take this long and dragging it out this long, again, for it to be over such a small amount of money NFL-wise, it's so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love if we could, hopefully after the fact, once this all gets sorted out, because there's almost zero chance that he doesn't end up on the Jets. Could you imagine if he didn't? That would be insane if this actually did enough to make it so that he wasn't even on the team by the start of the year. But that's not going to happen. I just want to know that when this finally gets signed, I hope that we actually get to hear about why. What was the specific thing? Because it can't be money. There's no way that the owner is that much like of a tight-pocketed guy to be like, no, don't give him that extra money to get him here. I can't imagine it's that. So I really want to hear what the specific detail of the contract is that Zach Wilson and his agent had a problem with. If Zach Wilson has an agent, I didn't check into that. I'm just making the assumption that he does because most guys do.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a culture thing. You need to earn that $200,000. That's not just going to be guaranteed. Yeah, that has to be earned. You have to get 3,000 passing yards this season in order to earn that $200K.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
They're trying to talk down yardage. That's what it is for that incentive to kick in.
Oh my gosh. The Niners didn't start today, did they?
The Niners did start today.
Oh,
Jimmy G had some fun things to say in his press conference.
What was Trey's problem?
Same thing. He just, I think it's more actual contract stuff and not just like an incentive or money lost if cut. Well, it's his actual contract.
Well, I mean, I'm less worried about him because I don't expect him to start week one anyways.
That's the thing. It's no one. The Zach Wilson thing is getting a microscope put on it because he's expected to start week one. Trey Lance isn't expected to really start, at least in our eyes, at all this season. We don't really.
For like 8 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Jimmy G's finishing out his contract before Trey Lance starts.
He's signing an extension before Trey Lance plays.
Yeah. Winning 2 Super Bowls before Trey Lance starts.
Yeah.
But so it's not really that big of a priority, at least. It should be a priority for the 49ers. I mean, get your first round draft pick signed like instantly. I never understand why it takes until late July, early August for signings like this to be done. Like, why don't you just hammer it down and get it done as fast as you can?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it should, I mean, in the 49ers situation, it should be done as well. But the Zach Wilson thing is just so much worse because the Jets have no other option at QB, and everybody knows that he's going to start this season. And that's, I don't know if Robert Saleh has said something like it's an open competition or anything, but really, could you imagine James Morgan stepping on the field week one? Could you actually imagine like going to the game week one and seeing him step on the field?
I think that's what Zach Wilson's using as his leverage there. Is like, I know you're not starting any of these other guys week one, so you better just give me this money. Like, he has all the leverage really in this talk, which is funny to say because this is his contract to get him into the NFL and to actually get him his first payday. But he really does have all the leverage against the Jets.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Y'all set? I've got nothing left.
Yeah, I think we could cut this here.